We need an intro.
I know, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Ringside Whatever the Fuck Rants we are tonight. We're here to talk about wrestling. Maybe, kinda. So as everybody knows, everybody keeps up to date with wrestling and whatever.
He's just Mike.
I'm just Mike. To my right is always Bad Karma Josh. And
Yeah.
I'm fucking shit up tonight. And we are without Phil, the Japanese Smarker Stone Style Phil. Man, I'm so sorry, Phil. I hope you get feeling better, brother. He said he wasn't feeling good, so hope you get feeling better, brother. Shall we start with Friday night? Friday night where Ricky Starks debuted in HOG.
Man, the day I was planning to go to that, and I was gonna buy my ticket on Friday, and that Friday they sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Sold out on it. I'm like, motherfucker! Again, that happened to me.
But did you get the chance to see the matches or hear about them?
No, unfortunately, I don't have Fight TV, so you got it. You watched it. Oh, I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. I mean, hell, I look at the card. I mean, that was an awesome card for this show.
Yeah. Bad thing about it was there was no Zilla Fatu versus Matt Cardona.
There was no. The match got scrubbed.
Zilla didn't. Zilla had the stomach bug.
So, who replaced him?
Gringo Loco.
Gringo Loco. So it's Gringo Loco versus Matt Cardona.
Mm-hmm. No, wait. I might be lying. I think I'm lying.
Come on, you gotta have spreadsheets, man.
I forget who it was, but yeah, basically Matt Cardona came out and everybody was chanting Chelsea Green. And as they were chanting Chelsea Green, he grabbed the microphone and said, Yeah, y'all want Chelsea Green? You want Chelsea Green? Yeah, too bad I fuck her every night. And I was like,
damn.
And he's like, yeah, y'all want to see me beat Zilla Fatu? And everybody's chanting, yeah. He's like, too bad he's not here either. So if you don't give me nobody to come out here to fight me, I can go home and fuck my wife and get out of here early. I was like,
damn.
Touche there, Matt Cardona. Touche. But then the music hit, and I think it was Gringo Loco, man. I'm not 100% sure. But after that match was over, there was another match, and then boom, the main event was Ricky Starks versus Mike Santana. The match was really good. However, Charles Mason interfered in it, and Charles Mason is going places, brother. And
he's the new devil. He's a new Kevin Sullivan.
Dude, how do you... This is what I don't understand in GCW. And Dave Prazak made it abundantly clear on Sunday night. But before we get to that, I want to talk about Friday night. Ricky Starks was put over by Mike Santana and, basically said that whenever your time comes available where you can actually talk about all this, you will. And the hats off to you, my brother, this, that, and the other. And Ricky grabbed the microphone and he goes, I don't know why they hand me this, because every time I touch one of these, it seems to land me in a bad trouble. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for putting me on, and you haven't seen nothing yet. I love the fact that he didn't go into business for himself, unlike a certain person did Sunday night. We'll talk about that in a minute too.
Oh yeah.
And it was just really, really good for what he did and what he said. It made me become more of a fan of Ricky Starks than I've ever been. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Whenever I see him in NWA, I was like, okay, cool. Very, very flashy and okay with that, and he did that in AEW, and his promos got a lot better. His mic skills got a lot better in AEW. And then whenever he went on GCW and did what he did in GCW, which everybody knows was a pipe bomb, it made CM Punk's pipe bomb up here, and Ricky Starks was right here, dude. The only thing difference between his and his was if Ricky Starks was on that level where WWE and all that shit happened, then I would put Ricky Starks above that. But since he's not in that league yet, and he will be certainly very, very shortly, since he did ask for his release and they declined it. But we don't know why they declined it. They just aren't talking about it. So he's working independent dates until he can become a free agent. So,
And
go to
hopefully
that next level.
his mouth shut.
Well, I mean, even if he don't keep his mouth shut, I'm okay with that. I mean, he didn't go in business for himself at GCW. He didn't go in business for himself at HOG. Every time he touches the microphone, everybody thinks he's going to say something that he ain't supposed to say. But the kid can wrestle, man. The guy is an actually really good fucking wrestler.
Oh,
and
yeah. No argument about that.
And Charles Mason is one of those polarizing people, man. When his music hits, the fans chant, "Fuck you, doom, doom, fuck you." And I know I'm jumping a little bit forward from Friday to Sunday, but how in the fuck is your fan base going to cheer a serial killer person that has their gimmick as a serial killer? Mind fucking blown right there. But back traveling to Friday, Charles Mason's match. Dude, Charles Mason is one of those guys that's going places. The kid can wrestle. He has that demeanor about him that he don't care if you like him, you hate him. He's out there to make money. He's out there to put asses in seats. He's out there to entertain the people. He's very entertaining. He's very charismatic. He's very over the top in his character. He plays his character to a fucking T. And I don't see him doing that character anywhere else but in GCW. And HOG waters it down just a very little, but not much. I mean, hell, did you watch GCW versus the People versus GCW?
Oh, yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Okay, so you already know where I'm going with. The whole incident when Richard Holiday brought out a knife, had him arrested, got out of prison, broke out of prison, coming back to GCW, had Perro's husband getting fucked over by a lot of people, fucking killing unhoused people. And then Richard Holiday, and then the whole thing is snitches get stitches. How can your fan base, how can you make a Dexter type character be cheered by your fan base? Easy. Have another person that's hated as much as him in the same match. It's easy. And GCW did it without a flaw. Richard Holiday, you're breathing the rarefied air of Richard Holiday. The craziest thing, in my opinion, was when you have this character, this over-the-top character of a serial killer, and you put it on Charles Mason and you put him in that match. How in the world can you not have, like, I just, my mind is, like Dave Prazak said, is, are we really having people cheer Charles Mason? Like, how? Why? And that to me is like, I don't know, man. You've seen it as well. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Them cheering for Mason?
Yeah.
Man, hey, sometimes the heel goes over, man. Sometimes,
but is he the heel in that though, man? I mean, you had two guys that people hated so much, and people really, really loathed Charles Mason. His name almost says Charles Manson. You know what I'm saying? It has one letter off from Charles Manson. And then you have him play the character of Dexter. And he's cheered in front of a rabid crowd who craves blood, destruction, and mayhem.
Sometimes you never know how the movement of a wrestling fan, man. I mean, hell, look at Stone Cold. Stone Cold was supposed to have been a heel.
But that's a different type of character, man. He ain't a Dexter character. He's not a serial killer. Man. You see my point.
But hey, but you know what? Is that he's got that it factor. He does. He knows how to push a crowd, and
Yeah.
somehow he's getting a crowd behind him. So, I mean, I
The guy
get
came
what
out-
you're saying. I get what you're saying. He's supposed to be like the ultimate heel, but sometimes, hey,
I mean, after this feud, do you think he's going back to being hated again?
well, he's got to do something really fucked up. But lucky enough, he's in the right company. He could do it.
I mean, and to start the night off, dude, we had 3 great matches on the pre-show, man. 3 great ones. They started off. You had the scramble match, which was phenomenal. 7 people in the scramble match.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking cool as shit.
I forgot who won that.
Shit. When Jordan Oliver, Marcus Mathers. No, that was the Rumble. That's the Rumble. 6-man scramble was something totally different. But the scramble was really good. And then you had the what was it, a tag team match? Yeah, for real, bro. For real. Yeah, for real.
That one was a good one. That was a good match.
Yeah, and then the Rumble with PCO going over. We'll talk about Alley Catch in a minute too, man. Yeah, we'll take a moment of silence.
We'll get to that because that was like kind of like the next match. But
wow, man.
yeah, that's the one that kind of stood out. I was like, first I was like PCO, and I was like looking, he's carrying a TNT title. I'm like,
TNA belt, yeah, the digital media champion.
And what brought to my head is like, does WWE know that he's there? I'm like, what's going on with that?
You mean does the TNA know that he was there still? I mean,
yeah. And then so I was just watching it, and it's like they put PCO over. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, then then he did bust out the title, put it on a chair, and start smashing it with a sledgehammer. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And then he grabs the microphone and starts telling everybody, "Oh, I've been waiting for a long time." And I went, "Oh no, what the fuck?" And you heard MJ, "Yeah, we get the point." Hey. And then we get graphics for like the upcoming show, and I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, and you could tell when the what's
come back on.
They
that was not.
The guy with the mic, I forget his name all the time.
MJ.
Yeah, you could see that he was trying to stop him.
Yeah, he's like, do. And then the referee jumped in there too, man, and he was like, stop. Like, you're done, dude. Like, your time is over. You're like, you're done here. And from what I understand,
we'll talk about that in a minute, my bud, Tony. It's like, can we get a moment of silence for Alley Catch?
You're being, I guess you're fucking Phil tonight, bro. I've already seen that. I said, we'll get to that in a minute. You're time traveling there. You're time traveling, Josh.
No, read the comments.
I know. It's been there for a minute. It's been there for like.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, he went into business for himself, and he might just he probably just retired himself because I don't think anyone else is ever going to hire him back.
No, especially if you go into business for yourself, like Ango said today, and now yesterday and Monday. When you go into business for yourself at a show, and granted, he's legit. He legit supposed to sign an agreement. He agreed to a verbal agreement to an extension, which everybody knew about that. Mm-hmm. When it came to putting pen to paper, it was less than what he was told, and he didn't do it. And he was supposed to lose the title tomorrow night on their next upcoming show after Genesis, lose it to someone, and he didn't do that. So now I don't know what the fuck their plan is now. And
you know what? I didn't watch Genesis. And tell you the truth, I didn't even know that there was a big TNA pay-per-view was going on. So
there's a lot of controversy there too. There's a lot of controversial there too, man. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We won't do the Phil time jump on that.
No, we will not, even though you tried. Anyway, So after they come back and they had Brett Lauderdale in the ring and he basically shot on AEW, did you see that part?
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
He's like, yeah, you know, we at least had more people here than the last person or the last company to do it in 30 days. I was like,
dude, you're trying to out yourself, aren't you? I mean,
well, I mean, he has a good relationship with WWE. He has a great relationship.
I don't know after that PCO incident.
Well, that got nothing to do with WWE, man. That's got everything to do with TNA. That had, and dude, as soon as it started, dude, they killed that shit. Like they fuck. Because what they were told, legitimately, what they were told was PCO was coming to their show to put over a storyline to progress with TNA. Like he was going to be working GCW/TNA. And whenever that happened, it was like, what the fuck did you just do? Not only did you sink a sinking ship with TNA, that you already burned that bridge right then and there. Exactly my point. But I will also tell you a bad thing about that in a minute as well, Tony. But that right there, man, whenever he did what he did, it also burnt a bridge with GCW. I don't see him going forward at GCW shows. From what I heard, there was a big backstage saying that if we would have known he was going to do that, we would have put one of our own guys over in that spot in that Rumble instead of putting PCO over. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that would have been the case. And I do believe it would have been anybody but PCO. I think it would probably have been Marshall Mather. Matthew. The guy Mathers that they were really talking about before that, talking about he got an ID deal, which honestly, God, truthfully, he fucking deserves. The kid's good. I really like the kid. The kid is an amazing athlete. And I think he's the one that won the 6-way scramble. I think he was in the scramble, not the I don't know, man. But anyway.
But they would have known he was doing that. I think they would.
I don't think they would have put him over on that spot. But Brett Lauderdale basically.
I guess he doesn't have a working relationship with AEW anymore.
Well, I mean, he had Megan Bain on the show, which they did talk about her being in AEW during the women's gauntlet match.
Yeah,
which is kind of like,
they mentioned AEW. It was. I found it kind of weird that they mentioned her on being on AEW, but on AEW they did no mention of GCW. None
whatsoever. And Atticus Cogar coming out looking like Megan Bain with that freaking mask on, dude.
Oh,
creepy, bro.
Hey, we're kind of doing time jumping because
we're talking about Megan Bain. That's why I went there.
Okay.
But yeah, that was creepy. We'll talk about that in a minute too. But the very first
match, a lot of deals like Barry and AEW, and they say, we put more people in their seats. This was my biggest pet peeve of the whole show. Is where they had the crowd on stage, and you got these knuckleheads passing right in front of the hard camera the whole entire time. I was like, yeah, great. You're saying you put more people in there, but you're putting them in all the fucking in the hard camera shots. That was ticking me off.
Well, it's GCW, man. You know, they got to be edgy.
I know normally they do that. They put the hard camera on the stage, but at the same time, they put the crowd right there. And it was like, you know what? Here's another thing. There's props, so I'll give it to them. They finally got rid of the old ECW cameras and upgraded to some HD shit.
Yeah, they did, which was really cool.
The camera work look was very good. I'll give it that.
Do you think that PCO could be smoothed out? Really? I don't know, man. Do you think they'll take anybody with any kind of name and shot value? I don't know, because if that was true, where's Tessa Blanchard?
And TNA.
We'll talk about that in a minute as well. But that's what I'm saying. Any name with shock value, that's the biggest one with shock value. And why ain't she in GCW before she went back to TNA? Why didn't she ever show up in GCW? Things to think about, bro.
How many times can you fight Alley Catch, you know?
in GCW, I mean, hell, there's been women champions. Masha Slamovich was a GCW world title champion.
Yeah.
So, and she was also JCW champion too, which phenomenal. And dude, what did you
Jay
think?
showed up.
Violent J showed up in the Rumble, dude, with the new Backseat Boys, bro. That was really cool, man. And he had Too Tough Tony in there too. And they all come out to some Boondocks, which I thought was really cool. Like some old school shit.
I thought he was on the. I thought ICP was on the outs with Boondocks.
They are, but so Too Tough Tony still has that. You know, man, he ain't got no affiliation, man. He's a Juggalo Championship wrestler. Violent J is a money man, dude. In his old age, look at him now, man. He's doing He's doing ICP wrestling with ICP shows. He's doing Juggalo Championship Wrestling mixed in with an actual concert. Why? More money, dude.
Money, yeah, I'd see it.
Dude, I mean, who wouldn't want to go to see a Juggalo Championship Wrestling and watch ICP in concert? Yeah, who's going chicken hunting, motherfucker? Yeah. Exactly, my point.
But but honestly, that to me that is like the GCW show was. I was impressed with the camera work. I was like, finally, they got rid of all the old ECW cameras or the GoPros or whatever it is they were shooting with. The only thing I was mad about, I was like, where's that camera girl, man, that they have all the time?
The very first match of the main card, you had 7 members down there, 8 members already in the ring. Sikope, you had all the rest of them. You had John Wayne Murdoch. You had Maki Ito. You had Rina Namashita.
It was the ladder match, right? Yeah.
The doors, ladders, and chairs match, the DLC match. You know, downloadable content. But
I don't like how they. I was like, why the hell is she doing in this match?
Dude, that was great, wasn't it? He's like, I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. You don't deserve to be here. That was fucking epic.
And she just started crying, but like, ah!
And then pointed at him, dude, and everybody beat the shit out. But before that happened, when Journey hit the freaking speakers, man.
Oh yeah.
But Matt Tremont showed up live when it went live on air. When they had Matt Tremont come out to that song, dude, I was like, he's winning that. He's winning this fucking match. There is no doubt in my mind that Matt Tremont ain't winning.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did you have the same amount? Did you have the same opinion?
Oh yeah. I was like, it's like he's been a fan favorite for the longest time. And anytime he comes out, it's like it's always, and that song is always banging.
Always, dude. It's Journey, dude. Who don't like fucking Journey? And the 360p resolution 80s porn quality they normally shoot their pay-per-view at, it's good if you're in a small venue, but Hammerstein Ballroom, dude, that's like, it's the mecca for GCW. And yeah. I'm not trying to take anything away from GCW at this point in time. GCW is the mecca of indies. And I'm even going to say this, and this is going to sound shitty of me, and I'm not trying to take anything away from any other company. Mm-hmm. In America right now, there's the 3 fucking Journey. There's 3 major companies in America right now. The WWE TNA, I count that as one company because they have a partnership deal. That is one company now. That is not 2 separate companies anymore. The second one, GCW, and the third, AEW. Why am I putting AEW third behind GCW? Their attendance, number 1, and their booking fiasco, number 2. And why in the fuck do you have all this talent and not pushing the talent or making it make sense? You have you had, like, for example, and this ain't time jumping or anything. For a long time, Penta and Ray Phoenix, whenever Phoenix was injured, they wouldn't use Penta. They wouldn't use Penta. They leave him on the sidelines until Phoenix was ready to go. Then they put him back on television together. Dude, if Penta can fucking wrestle, put Penta in the fucking singles division.
No.
What the fuck are you doing?
Same way. And then when they brought Penta on, they made him some kind of demon spirit or whatever it is.
That was a cool gimmick once in every great moon, dude. I mean, it's a great alter ego. But Penta is a great single star. Look at him in WWE right now. Look what he's doing in WWE on Raw. Both matches against Chad Gable and the Bruiserweight. Fucking awesome matches, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you were there for ECW One Night Stand in 06? I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Yeah,
favorite pay-per-views. Mike Awesome getting thrown in there.
He was there. He you could actually see him on the pay-per-view.
05 was better though. 05 was better.
Is that the one that was that the Pharaoh one or not the Resurgence?
That was the one that they that was the first one they did. 06 is when John Cena showed up.
Yeah.
And that's whenever John Cena lost the belt to Rob Van Dam. That was the resurgence of ECW. 05 was better in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the one he went to.
No, he went to the one in 06 with John Cena and RVD.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he says the 06. Okay, I see it.
But
yeah,
awesome.
But getting back to well, before we get to that, we'll get back to GCW. So we had Matt Tremont winning the ladder match. It was like,
dude, that was awesome. Dude, did you see Brandon Kirk's Psycho Driver through the ladder?
It shattered it. I never see.
Dude, but and I'm going to go ahead and dispel some of the rumors about ladders. I don't know if everybody knows this or not. Whenever you turn a ladder on the way that they had them turned, where you can see the actual thing bending in the middle, you notice how they had it a certain way, so they could break it or like it folds in half, because it don't take but like 45 pounds to make it fold like that. And whenever he jumps up and does that move, that Psycho Driver through, I love it. It looks like it hurts like a motherfucker, but all it does is fiberglass and aluminum, man. It just
aluminum cuts.
If it breaks in pieces, but these right here don't break in pieces, they just bend. If you didn't notice, it just bends in places. But
still looks like it hurts.
Well, I know that's the crazy thing, dude. It looks like it hurts like hell. Just like whenever you see people get hit with trash cans, like the old school trash cans. The ones that had the fucking the big ass I call it the shield handle, because those actually hurt. You can see people getting cut hard ways with those, and that's when they like got rid of them completely. Now they just use the ones without the shield handle. And in the frying pans, like the little baking sheets, everybody knows that shit don't hurt. They shit just sounds like it hurts. You know, it's like, oh my God, I got hit with a fucking baking sheet. What's wrong with that guy? It's the same thing, man. It's that shit like it hurts, but it doesn't. Now the weed whacker, the fucking weed eater shit, that's fucking brutal. I see motherfuckers get hit in the chest with that shit and blood just go everywhere, dude. Like, fuck you, and fuck you some more. And dude got hit in the nutsack with it. You watched that match.
Yeah. Hey, nah. But
no, thank you.
Matt Tremont wins the DLC match,
which was the ultraviolet deathmatch champion and the hardcore championship, which is awesome. So, and then the second match of the night,
they're gonna remake a new belt or something like that, or
I think they just unified those titles. I'm really thinking
that's what unified means is that they make a new belt then.
Well, I don't know. Well, you remember the Universal Championship, the very first, what was it? Chris Jericho was the first Universal title champion, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He held 2 titles.
Then they eventually made one title.
But he held both titles. Whenever he had it, he held both titles. But anyway, I know what you mean, and I know what you're saying. They eventually make one title, but I don't know if they're going to do that in GCW or not. But
so the next match, I think, was the Effie and Alley catch, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And like Tony said almost 20 minutes ago, let's take a moment of silence for Alley Catch.
And her hoof.
All right, so
yeah, that was I was like, man, I was like, damn, it was not even a freaking 3 minutes into the match,
dude. It at first I thought it was like.
Well, at first, when we first, because I was at my buddy Tony's house right here, and we were watching it, and at first we didn't catch it. It was like, it was like, what's going on? It's like, oh, she hurt herself. Then we heard her scream, my ankle. And like, oh, what? It was like, so we stopped and paused, stopped, rewinded in a little bit, and we just see it, and it's like, you just see, I'm like, oh, she just shit herself.
Yeah, for real. And then
I was like, wow.
What was it, like a 45-minute delay?
Yeah, because well, they didn't know what to do, and obviously he had to get what's called Mance Warner out there.
Yeah, to go out there and choke slam Effie through a table.
Yeah, to buy some time to get out of the ring. Then they set up the next match, and they were trying to start the next match, but I guess they said,
due to commissioner state law in New York City,
yeah,
they have to have another ambulance on hand before the match can begin. And that took, what, 35 minutes?
Yeah, about good.
It took a while.
It took a while. It was about at least a good 20 minutes.
Grim Reaper got on the microphone, and I love what Tony Deppen said. Well, I mean, if you ain't going to have the match, we just might as well fucking leave.
I got ready. I got Zelled.
Yeah, I got Zelled already. I'm good to go. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Because, dude, those guys.
They were buying time. I know that.
Yeah, I know they were. But, dude, they should have just canceled that match like that. That would have been the perfect moment to cancel that match, period.
Yeah, because it wasn't a good match.
It was a good match for what it was. What the match they should have canceled, and honestly, God, truthfully, and I love all three of these people I'm about to say, but I know it's time jumping to Jerry, Super Crazy, and fucking Lou Guido.
Fuck no! That was an awesome match. I was fucking shoot. I was impressed that they could.
I'm not saying the spots were terrible. No, I'm talking about those were good, but the match as a whole. You saying that the fucking the real effing pros and the OGs of New York City was a terrible match compared to that? No, man, no. And I love Drake Cartwheel, and I love Gringo Loco, and I love fucking RS. They worked their ass off to make those three older guys look fucking awesome. They truly did, and it was a great match for what it was. That was a great send off for all three of those gentlemen.
Heck yeah, for Super Crazy shit. I was like, damn, he got fat. And then I said, but at the same time, he was still going.
Gringo Loco's a big dude, man. Gringo Loco ain't no fucking slouch, bro. He ain't no fucking skinny.
But he ain't no fucking 50-something-year-old. Because I know that's how old what you call it.
Crazy. Yeah. Tajiri even shows his age, man. You can see his age in his hair, bro.
Oh yeah.
And I love Tajiri. Tajiri's an amazing wrestler. He always has been, and he always will be. Still pulls off that tarantula like a motherfucker, dude.
Oh yeah.
And little Guido, as old as he is, 50-something years old, and still in that great of shape, dude, come on.
Oh, he was in NXT. He did that when they the NXT show when they were at
4300 Arena. Yeah.
So,
but my thing is though, man, that match was nowhere near as good as the effing pros and the OCGs, man. And the only reason I said he should have canceled that match was they should have made it a bigger match for between the areas and all them. They should have had all those people tag team together, and then have
a 6-on-6.
Why not?
Well, actually, that was the biggest thing. Is like that the show didn't end. Well, it didn't end in my area until like about damn near almost 12:30. And that's it. I bet. Well, it probably would have went longer if they actually had the alley catch match. I'm like, shoot, and I'm over here thinking it ended here at like 12:30. So that means it was over there going to like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh shit.
The pay-per-view lasted 6 hours, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds. That's 2 pay-per-views at a normal WWE show. That's 2 nights of WrestleMania. That's basically what that was.
Too long.
For an Indian show, XPW got kicked off Fight TV because of that reason. Their pay-per-views are going 5-6 hours long.
Yeah.
That's the reason
that was another thing. That was my biggest complaint. It was like it was just too long. And I know they did the pre-show on YouTube.
Yeah, but that was an hour by itself.
And and so let me see. It started at 7.
Mm-hmm.
It started at 7, and then it ended until midnight, past midnight. And if they would have had to end it, and it would have been longer if they did actually have that alley catch match. Yeah.
No. Think about it. If alley catch match would have went the whole entirety, it would have been shorter because everything would have went on schedule. Her getting injured, plus the actual 45 minutes. Literally, it took 45 minutes for everything to happen. 45 fucking minutes between her getting injured and the start of the third match. That was an hour. That's an hour wasted. What you should have done is cancel that one match. Not even cancel it. Make them all shake hands, go to the back, and then whenever the Los Desperados and the ECW Originals got in the ring, instead of facing one another, called out the other 6 members or the other 6 wrestlers, and then have a 6-on-6 match. Would have went smoothly.
But
I think so.
What was the other matches that took place?
Joey Janela versus Masato Tanaka.
Which one was Masato Tanaka and who?
Joey Janela.
Oh, that was a good match.
That was a banger, bro.
I mean, he didn't take them. He took a triple chair size. He didn't take them like he used to, but still, even see that still to this day is like bow, like ooh.
Dude, that was an amazing match. It reminded me of Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka.
Brutal shit, man. Brutal.
Megan Bain versus Atticus Cogar was meh. With Sawyer Wreck interfering at the end. Meh.
Tased his ass.
I'll tell you what really impressed me was that cage match between fucking Charles Mason and Richard Holiday.
Yes, very good.
Holy fuck, dude. Charles Mason.
And the fact that nobody got bloodied. Actually, there was no.
The only blood that happened was in the very first match. That was the only blood in the whole fucking show.
The very first match?
The DLC match. The doors, ladders, and chairs.
It was. It was more like a shoe. Like, yeah, a little bit like that, but no, it wasn't the typical GCW.
What?
Bloody. So it was like, oh, I got a scratch.
I'll tell you another one. Now I'm not impressed with, but I know it's his farewell match in his last match ever. Sabu's going to versus Joey Janela at Joey Janela Spring Break. I'm not looking forward to that, bro. I'm really not.
Honestly, he can't do it.
He can. He can. I think we're going to see old ass Sabu.
Have you seen recent videos, matches of him, like within the past 5 or 10 years? He can't even lift his arm up, man.
He still does that pretty well, man.
No, if you see him without all that stuff on, is like it's like one of his arms is like short, like shrunken. And the last time I see him, he was trying to do something. He's like he had to lift his arm up to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
he's in bad shape, man.
He does not need to be in the ring anymore.
No, I think Joey Janela will take care of him. He took care of Masato Tanaka, made Masato Tanaka look awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think every match on that card was good except for the Alley Catch match. We won't know, but the main event was really well done.
Well, before we get to the main event, we got to talk about Matt Cardona.
His last time being in a GCW ring,
maybe. Yeah, he came out. He came out with the broski.
But dude, did you notice how the broski started? How he started everything? All hail the Deathmatch Prince. All hail the Deathmatch King.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go all hail Deathmatch King then the Prince like he usually does. That right there told me something was about to go down. You didn't catch on to that, did you?
No.
But I told everybody, I told you and I told Phil too. I told you both. I said Jimmy Lloyd's going to turn at Matt Cardona at this pay-per-view.
It was bound to happen. But
he didn't give it away.
But
he never gave it away, dude. Like he never gave it away. Like he even clipped up Microman for Matt Cardona to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
He helped Matt Cardona win.
Yeah, then it's like after I was like, Microman is in this? Then and I didn't because I haven't heard I haven't heard Jimmy Lloyd's music being played for the past year and a half, 2 years.
All of a sudden,
I kind of forgot what it sounded like. I was like, at first he's like, "What the fuck?" Then he's like, "You see Lloyd?" I was like looking at Lloyd, was like, "Oh, it's him."
And then he turned around and he goes, "Fuck you, dude!" And the whole place erupted. That right there was like one of the biggest pops of the night. Because he helped Matt Cardona not beat one person, but two people, and then basically gives him the radio silence and fucking gives him the fucking package power driver for the win.
Oh yeah.
In that vignette of Matt Cardona talking about his whole career and how he's done nothing but good things for the independent wrestling, dude, I had feels, bro. I started from here and I went to Madison Square Garden when no one knew my name. And I even headlined some of the biggest shows in wrestling history. I even held gold.
You know what? This is some things that actually kind of tipped me off that they might be working behind the scenes with WWE. They had some footage, WWE footage. I'm like, at first I'm thinking to myself, I was like, oh, someone's getting sued. Because they don't show any other promote unless it's like from New Japan. I know New Japan and Stardom, they don't care if they use their footage or not because that's for free publicity in another country. But when you get a juggernaut of WWE, and I was like, when I saw that, I was like, either somebody did something illegally or somebody's gonna be going back. And I see him going back, but I hope he doesn't do the Zack Ryder. I really don't. He needs to keep that Matt Cardona. I guarantee once that Always Ready pops on, the place will erupt.
And that band he had played for him, dude, his own band that had it come out to his music, Always Ready. Dude, I was like, I'm pumped.
Yep.
Dude, and for Matt Cardona to be as over as he is in the indies, and I'm not just talking about in GCW or House of Glory, I'm talking every promotion he's been in. TNA, AEW, Ring of Honor, which we all know is owned by AEW, but all these companies.
AEW.
Huh?
Also AEW, who was on the show.
Yeah, and but the thing is, man, Matt Cardona is so over, dude. Like that character.
I know, but and here's the thing: if he was like, I could see him doing the Royal Rumble, making the appearance. I could see him doing that, but to
Twice.
actually go,
Get eliminated as Zack Ryder, and they come out as Matt Cardona.
I'll do the Mick Foley.
How awesome would that be, dude? How crazy would that place erupt, dude? How crazy would it be?
But
I mean, I would pop for that.
But at the same time, it's like, do I see him going back to WWE full time? I mean, he makes more money
on his toy line. On his toy line.
But you got to understand, once you go to WWE,
it becomes part of their shit now. Yeah, it all becomes them now, and they make money on you. You don't make money off you no more unless you have merchandise sales, and you only get a portion of that. And it ain't like AEW where you get 100% of your shit. Like AEW didn't have any rights to anybody's shit.
Mm-hmm.
But and because it's all from PWT, Pro Wrestling Tees. Everything's PWT. Everything is licensed by the wrestler. Mm-hmm. It ain't wrestling. It ain't licensed by AEW. AEW only makes money off AEW shit, which is cool. But it's also like, what the fuck, too. And the thing about that.
Well, the thing about that is,
sorry.
The thing about that is that Pro Wrestling Tees makes the T-shirts for AEW.
Not for AEW, but for their wrestlers.
Yeah, they produce all their stuff, like all their all these fuckers right here.
Yeah,
all this stuff.
That's different. That's all AEW stuff. Well, I'm talking about like for shirts wise.
No, this is the micro brawlers.
That's all AEW. Yeah, that's all AEW there.
No, this is Pro Wrestling Tees. They make these.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, yeah, they also make the T-shirts too, though. What I'm saying is they get royalties from AEW gets royalties from certain things, but not a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say like their toy line, obviously, their the wrestling figures and all that stuff. I think they get the money from, but like the T-shirts is like it's all produced by Pro Wrestling Tees.
Straight for the wrestlers. All the proceeds go to the wrestlers and to the company that made the shirts. That's it. And I think that's really, really cool, man. If you think about it, that's really, really cool. Because I think that's where things need to be headed for WWE as well. But they believe in you belong to us. That's what they believe in. We own you.
That was under the Vince McMahon shit.
Well, I mean, still under WWE, under UFC control or TKO, whatever you want to call it, man. It's the same thing because they changed Pentagon Jr. to Penta. They let because they think the name was so long they shorted it.
Yeah, well, they did that. Well, they had to do that in AEW. That's why he was known as when he first came in, he was Pentagon Jr.
Because he was still AAA.
But AAA owns the name, so he had to change it to Penta Zero Miro.
But first he changed it just to Pentagon Jr. First he changed from Pentagon Jr. to Pentagon. But then Pentagon is owned by another person. It's like some relative. And then they changed it to Penta El Zero Mero. Yeah. And then the Lucha Brothers that's been their trademark gimmick since TNA, man. Since AAA. You can't Lucha Brothers is going to be the Lucha Brothers. I mean, you have Penta and you have Ray. And I just got a message from my woman.
Oh,
it's a video. I'm not watching it.
Not live on the air.
Not that kind of video. It's one of those TikTok/Facebook reel things talking about the coldness here in the South. But I'm gonna go back to Saturday night. Ray Phoenix posted a picture of him in a straitjacket, and this is coming from Phil. He says, "I'm sorry, Mike. What Ray is doing is burning his bridges. I'm sorry. I disagree. TK is punishing Ray for going into business for himself while under an AEW contract. You don't bite the hand that feeds you." And I didn't respond to him at that because I was going to wait till tonight to respond to him. And the reason I'm going to respond to that now, and I don't know if Phil's watching or not, but I disagree and agree with what you're saying, Phil. But at the same token, if you know he's unhappy in his contract, you're not going to use him. And I think I told you this earlier, Josh. If you have a person under your contract, and this is my whole, I don't know if I told you this or not, but this is how I picture AEW. Okay. You have this great tag team in the Lucha Brothers, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Ray got injured. You bench Penta too. Hell, just like in the two brothers, what are they called?
Top Flight.
Top Flight. One of them got injured. The other one got benched too for a long time until they got action ready. Yeah.
No, what was it? What the heck is their brothers' names?
Dante and Darius.
Yeah, Dante. Shit, they pushed the hell out of Dante.
They did. They pushed him, but it was 6 months after his brother wasn't coming back from the ankle injury. They pushed him to
They were pushing him that whole time.
The very first time Darius got injured, which was like in 2020, right during COVID, we didn't see Dante for 6 months. And then Dante showed up and he started doing singles matches and like, oh, this kid can still wrestle. Okay, cool. And then 2021, when Darius came back in a match, they were tag teaming together. Boom, good. And then Darius got injured. No, Darius got injured again. Darius got injured twice then, and Dante got injured once. After the second time Darius got injured, Dante was still wrestling singles matches, and then here come Action Andretti. And then they paired them together as Top Flight, remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they still do. No, he's with
Leo Rush.
Leo Rush now, yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is, that's what they do to people, man. Just like, for example, whenever Wardlow got injured, they just wrote him off television like he never existed.
Hey, shit! What? Yeah, he's been gone for a while.
My point taken. And he was part of the Undisputed Kingdom. And then before that, here's another big one they wrote off television. This right here blew my mind too. I didn't even realize it for a long time. Miro got injured. They wrote him off television. Kip Sabian got injured. They wrote him off television. Butcher and Blade, before they were actually written off television, before their contracts ended, whenever one of them was injured, the other one you never saw. You might see them very rarely and put somebody else over.
But Butcher's still there. Blade, I think he quit. I think he's
my point.
Him and his wife quit.
Yeah, you see my point though.
Huh?
Chicago, it's so cold outside, the ground is ashy. We got chapped cement. Is that true, bro?
Yep.
That's hilarious. My woman sent me that. That's pretty funny.
Tell her I said it's true.
I will.
I can show a picture outside right now.
Dude, if I showed everybody what's looking outside here, they wouldn't believe it. Especially in Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, Alabama had 7.5 inches of snow yesterday, bro. I kid you not, bro. I'm dead serious.
Snow or what? What the hell?
Dude, I don't know, man. It was a crazy... Dude, we had snow on the beach, brother. Snow on the fucking beach.
Yeah, I know. I got all the way down to Florida, I heard.
Dude, Louisiana, all the way to the fucking coastline of Florida, dude. All the way to Tallahassee, Jacksonville area.
Well,
That's crazy, bro.
They said that there was a polar vortex coming through. I thought it was going to be cold. To tell you the truth, I thought it was going to be colder. It got cold. It got negative around here, but
dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh. This is the God's honest the truth, man. Our low or our high yesterday was lower than North Dakota. It got over I think 20 something degrees yesterday.
Shit.
It was ridiculous, dude.
Actually, right now it's 20 up here. Hell,
it's 31 right now here. It's 31 right now here in Mobile. 31 degrees mostly.
Monday and Tuesday it was negative. You don't want to know. You don't want to know what. If you think this is cold, you don't want to know what negative feels like.
Oh, dude. I felt. You forget. I was in Washington State, bro. I was in Washington State. I know what it cold feels like. They told me you only get like 4 or 5 inches. They line like motherfuckers up there, dude. I got outside my dorm room and went downstairs to go jog to work like I normally do in my fucking press uniform. And when I got to work, my crease line of my fucking from my kneecap all the way down to the center line was soaking wet from my kneecap down. I had no crease mark no more. They're like, oh, why isn't your uniform pressed? And I was like, it was until I ran a fucking half mile in the fucking swamp of ice on the way here. No one told me about. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it snows deep up here. I'm like, yeah, they closed down the flight line for a whole week. So I was sitting at the shop washing cars in 22 and was it -7 degree weather? -7. I was washing cars in -7 degree weather. That was crazy.
-7?
Crazy.
That's cold.
Washing cars. And I still remember it, dude. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? They're like, yeah, man, we got one of them hot, one of those.
The coldest I got around here, I think it hit like -15. I meant that was cold, and I was working at the mill at the time when that happened. I got a space heater, and basically I could cook a steak on this motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
and I had it cranked, and I had it cranked, and I was sitting right next to it, and I'm still freezing.
Oh yeah. Tony has said a -50 below in Chicago. Worst one y'all had. Dude, I'm going to be honest. I've never experienced negative below weather until I went to Washington State in the Air Force, dude. And I was like, why are we washing cars in negative weather? They're like, oh, you don't understand. I was like, I don't understand. They're like, well, we have a pressure washer that heats up to 200 degrees. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. But dude, whenever I first turned that son of a bitch on, it shot out fucking icicle darts, and we had to like hit it at the wall. Do you hear clang, clang, like 10 seconds of nothing but straight icicles, and then all of a sudden it started heating up and getting real hot, and I was like, okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah, the polar vortex of '98. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I do remember that. That was freaking cold. I wasn't working in the mill that time. I was working at a copper place, and shit. Even that was cold, man.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, dude. I was like, wow. And I put my hands around that bastard, dude, like on the plastic grips and to keep my hands warm. And I was wearing gloves. I was like, hell yeah, I can do this all fucking day. Did that shit for a week. Go inside and take a break for like an hour or two. Come back out and finish up my shift washing cars and detailing them. Dude, I mean, that's what I did in the military, man. I was a glorified bus driver. I mean, I'm dead serious. Dead serious. That's all I did. But I hated it, but it was a job.
But other than that, we'll get back to wrestling now.
Back to wrestling. All right, so there was another match we didn't talk about at all, and it didn't make no sense to be on this card, in my opinion. And you might disagree with me, even though I was right about who was going to win this match, and I'm so happy I was right. Josh Barnett versus Tom Pistot.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
But you know what? He did good. He put on a show for it. I honestly knew that. I also knew that Josh Barnett was gonna win that. But I know you don't like Corbin, but you know what? For making his first debut at that. I give us props. He had the balls to go in there and do it. I know I couldn't do it.
But I'm going to be honest about this, and you might not like it. He looked sluggish, man. He had the height advantage. He had the weight advantage. He had a lot of advantages. He's also a
Golden Gloves boxer. Yes, I know. But you also got to realize, I mean, come on. Do you honestly believe? Do you honestly believe that that's not rigged?
Yes and no, man. I mean, it's MMA rules.
It's
Submission
MMA
knockout
rules,
rules.
but it's MMA rules in a wrestling ring. I mean, come on. I mean, obviously, it's like go out there, give him a performance, give him a show, like beat yourself up. But he's got to win.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it's called the Josh Barnett
Blood sport. Yeah.
Blood sport. I mean, for a reason,
You know, he's only been beat by one person.
Who?
MVP. MVP beat him.
I thought he lost to him. Or I thought MVP lost to him.
He's 9-1-1. MVP beat him.
Okay. Oh, they're one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he tied with John Moxley. And he lost to MVP. And he beat everybody else. Now he's 10-1-1. He's the first person in double digits in Bloodsport. And like Dave Prazak said, it's only fitting because it is Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. And I agree with that. They're shoot work. Yeah, they are. And I was very surprised about how the fans reacted to Baron Corbin in that match. Like, they were supporting him, dude. Like, they were behind him. And they were like, please come back and thank you and all that stuff. I disagree. I think the fans should have just turned on him. Yeah, I know the predetermined. Yeah, it's predetermined. And the way Josh Barnett had him 4 times in that match earlier in that match to make him submit. And Baron Corbin had him in one good actual hold. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But other than that, I saw him tap out twice earlier. Like early in mid-match, he tapped out, and at the end, he tapped out twice. But that's needless here to say. But I enjoy the Bloodsport action, but it really didn't serve a purpose on that card, man. It took away so much. They should have put that on the pre-show, personally. Yeah. I would have put that on the pre-show and put that scramble match mid-card.
But but it was all right for a most part. It was basically reintroducing him as it is, but you never know what he actually gets into the wrestling. We'll find out what he's going to do. Is he going to?
He's going to Corbin it up. He's going to boring Corbin it up. He's going to be a boring Corbin again. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from the man. I think the man is a great human being. Let me say this first and foremost. I'm not trying to take anything away from him as a human being. His character sucks. His gimmick, terrible. His wrestling moveset is shit. On wheels, eating on hot garbage on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of winter. That's what he is. His gimmick is shit. Now, if he changes his whole gimmick and his whole attitude and his whole mentality and becomes something totally different, I'll be okay with that. The lone wolf shit, dude, you're not 1990. This ain't the fucking hair era, bullshit era, whatever you want to call it era. This is something new and inventive and modern wrestling. No one gives a shit about how you can run outside the ring and do a 360 or 180 and come back in and clothesline somebody. Dude, that's giving somebody a 15-second fucking break. True.
Mm-hmm.
Slingshot. Cool. My thing is, and this is me saying this with all sincerity, Baron Corbin has no purpose being in any type of wrestling ring. If that's his gimmick and that's what he's going to stick with and the moveset he's going to go with from here to eternity, dude, just stay to the indies and suck up the money they give you. If you go back to any main roster, change your shit the fuck up. Be very fucking inventive, be very charismatic, and put on a great fucking show. Do not do the same shit that he's been doing. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, man. It's got to be because boring Corbin, it's over, dude. Happy Corbin, terrible. Baron Corbin, the lone wolf, god awful. The mullet, I'm glad he shaved his head, but then he like Mr. Clean with tattoos. Fucking terrible. And I'm not trying to sit here and talk shit about the man. I'm really not. I think he's a great person, dude. As a person, I have nothing but respect for this man. His wrestling character, his wrestling philosophy, and his wrestling fucking charisma is shit on a fucking broomstick shoved up somebody's butthole. That's all it is, dude. It's garbage, hot garbage. And I'm not the only one that says this. He should have never been in Kurt Angle's last match. That was a Vince McMahon thing. Everybody knows that. Even Kurt Angle won't admit it, but it was a fucking Vince McMahon thing. Vince McMahon wanted to punish Kurt Angle in some way, fashion, and form. Hell, let's stick him with Baron Corbin. But you get Baron Corbin all these great matches. Oh, he won the freaking Money in the Bank. Lost it to John Cena. My point is, he should never, ever, ever have been in any type of main event angle. Ever. Oh, he won the Intercontinental title. Kudos. So did the Honky Tonk Man. Who gives a fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, he won the U.S. title. Cool.
So did
Disco Inferno won the United States Heavyweight title. Who gives a fuck? I mean, but he won these titles. Okay. So did Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona won tag team gold. So did Baron Corbin. My point is this. Matt Cardona is a better wrestler, a better charismatic person than Baron Corbin. Whenever Zack Ryder left the WWE and became a different echelon of a person, not only did his charisma rise, but his popularity intensified. It didn't go plummet. Now Baron Corbin needs to do the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself be recognizable. Make yourself be somebody that people want to come and watch and put money in. You put asses in seats. Matt Cardona sold out Hammerstein Ballroom. That's all I'm going to say. Matt Cardona is why Hammerstein happened. Quote me if I'm wrong, bro.
I don't know. I agree. I agree with you on that.
It wasn't because of El Hijo del Vikingo, which was also a great match with Sidney Akeem, by the way. Great match.
I forgot about that match. Yeah, that was a great match.
Great match.
I knew that was going to make a match, and I was like, and I was surprised that went over.
Sidney, I wasn't, because Sidney Akeem has a couple of different dates with GCW. Vikingo is on a AAA schedule. And I agree with the outcome of that. I love the Circus Soleil fucking backflips into the fucking cutter. I love that shit. I don't know why, but I love it. And but my thing is,
oh my damn,
Sidney Akeem is one of those guys that's taking Matt Cardona's approach and elevating himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's taking this fucking indie fucking stardom and doing this. It's a slow climb, but he's doing it every step of the way. Wow. And then you have Matt Cardona, who went from just being here, and then when he went to GCW and took on fucking Nick Gage, he went here, and then he went from here. Dude, he's gone, dude. He's on a whole nother level. Like, I don't want to describe Matt Cardona versus the rest of the indies. He is what CM Punk would have been if CM Punk would have went indie wrestling. I mean, he is that good. He's that type of wrestler. He isn't one of those guys that's like, oh, okay, cool, we're just going to watch another Matt Cardona match. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get from Matt Cardona. You know you're going to get a hell of a fucking charismatic match. You know you're going to get a fucking fire-ass promo, and you're going to get people popping and people booing, and you're going to get the whole fucking entourage. You can get a whole slew of shit. You can get an emotional fucking roller coaster beginning to fucking end. Oh, that's what Matt Cardona does for you.
But well, we went way on GCW. So there was another pay-per-view.
But let me finish one thing before we go there.
Okay.
GCW had one major flaw. We talked about the time limit. 6 hours, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Now, the only other flaw I've seen in GCW was they kept on relaying about the time as it went forward. Oh, yeah, I know y'all been here forever, but we're here to da-da-da-da. If you know you've already went over the time limit you're supposed to be given, quit talking about it, because all you're doing is making the people there more fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
Number two, if you're going to keep talking about the time, kill that shit. Don't fucking do it. Don't mention time. Don't mention overtime. Don't mention how much longer you've been, how much longer you got to go. Don't mention how many more matches. Don't mention this is the main event. Don't do any of it.
I mean, it literally ended at 1:30 in the morning in New York.
Yeah, dude, it ended late. It ended late as fuck, dude. I didn't even watch the paper. I didn't even watch the main event. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not watch the main event. I already knew who was going to win. Effie was going to win. Am I wrong or right?
No, he won.
It was already in the cards, and I really believe if Allie would have been okay to wrestle, I think she would have went over because of the way they were pushing her to be over. Because I think she deserves that title more than Effie. And I love Allie and I love Effie, but me and you both agreed on this too, Josh. That was one match we didn't really give a fuck to see.
Yeah.
And when it ended soon, it did. It really did. And they have to pay to clean that place up. And that shit ain't cheap. That's like a $1,500 fine, like a $1,500 fucking cleaning fee if you don't clean that place up. And that's 3 levels of cleaning up. 3 fucking levels of cleaning up in that place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure they had to pay the $1,500, which I'm pretty sure they already made that over the ticket sales. I'm already sure about that. They already had that scheduled to the side. Okay, that's going to pay for the cleaning. We're getting the fuck out of here. We will come back here in a couple of years. And that's what I honestly believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after everything was said and done and it was over with and done, the only takeaway from that match, only takeaway from this pay-per-view, and everybody knows it, dude. They had to adjust the card on the fly. And I think that threw a big-ass monkey wrench in why everything was so delayed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I personally believe. But now, when everything happened, and Allie would have went over, Effie went over instead, that's going to lead a big feud between Allie and Effie after she comes back from ankle injury.
Yeah, that's going to be a while.
Yes. I think it's been 6 months to a year.
We ain't going to see her for a year.
Nah. But I do have a feeling we're going to see a lot of vignettes from her in about 6 months about her coming back from injury. And the way they were putting her over, like, you forgot about Allie. You forgot about Allison. You were never there for me. I was always there for you. You were never there for me. That shit was fire. That shit would make me go, okay, I'm invested a little bit. Because they started doing that shit since November. For 2 months, that's all they talked about was how Allie was getting fed up with everybody's bullshit and how it came about Allie instead of fucking Effie and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Now, Effie's a champion. How long is he going to remain champion? I hope he remains champion until Allie Katch comes back and she takes it from him.
Yeah.
On how they're going to do it. Oh, yeah. She had you at the Pantera shirt. Dude, she had everybody at the Pantera shirt. And, dude, did you see – now, this is taken back a little bit. That during that very first match with Matthew Justice in that first match, did you see the woman that held the sign up?
No. Oh.
Jizz on me, Matthew Justice.
Yes, I did see that. Yes, I did see that.
I was like,
ah! Oh, and he got a kick out of it too. He
pointed at her and gave her the thumbs up, dude. Jizz on me, Justice. Yes, jizz on me, Justice, dude. I was like, that was fucking crazy. And then did you see the Atticus Cougar lady, the one that was sitting beside her that had the Atticus Cougar? She put her tits like this and held the sign up, and it said Atticus Cougar, and she was bouncing her tits to
it. You see the one that's some girl dressed up as a clown.
Yeah. And MLJ made a comment about it. It's like, we got clowns, and then they panned over there to her. We got clowns, and we got women, and we've got men, and he just like,
what's kids doing here?
Yeah, that was kind of weird because, dude, yeah. Want to bring home to the family? I agree. Dude, I was like blown away by the Jizz on me Justice thing, dude. I was like,
I totally forgot about that. I saw that. I was like, did that say what I thought it said?
Yes. And Matthew Justice pointed at her, gave her the thumbs up, and smiled. I was like, done. Like that wins the sign of the night right there, dude. That one. And did you see the this right here had me fucking thinking about it for a minute. It had JWMDK, the big sign on the banner. Did you see that? John Wayne Murdoch, death kill. I was like, oh, if they ain't a fucking Nick Gage fuck you, I don't know what is.
You know what? And that was another thing that
Brett Lauderdale went on.
Yeah, I was like, I thought he did a little dig at Nick Gage on that. I'm like,
he did.
Wow.
Best friends stab you in the back or into your face. because he went to CZW and he also is going to be working an XPW show, working with the Enemy. And dude, I'm going to be honest about this. Brett Lauderdale is not the biggest promoter in indies. Rob Black is a pretty big promoter, and I'm not taking nothing away from Rob Black. Rob Black is, even though he's hated and people fucking can't stand him, he makes you want to watch the train wreck unfold. True story, dude. Like, you put on an XPW show, you're like, what the fuck is Rob Black going to say now? I'm that guy. I'm like, I can't wait for the fuckery to happen, you know, because I know it's going to happen. It's bound and determined to happen, but when? Rob Black is not a person to mix fucking punches or cover up bullshit or anything, dude. He'll tell you how he fucking feels, regardless if you like it or fucking not. And I respect that. Dude, he didn't big league me, man. I talked to him whenever I met him at New South 2 years ago, and he didn't big league me. Him or MLJ, they both didn't big league me. Because I told him about the promotion that I was working or trying to work with at the time, and I got all the information. I still have the information. I think I gave it to them, and I don't think they ever did anything with it because they never came down here. They never even got in touch with them. So my point is this: GCW doesn't need these smaller promotions to do better. The smaller promotions need GCW. New South and GCW worked well together because they both have great talent. I mean, and for a long time, GCW was using a lot of the New South talent. They used Hunter Drake. They used another guy that I'm not mentioning his name because he burned a big bridge with New South. I'm not even going to mention his name. I liked him as a wrestler. I think he's a phenomenal athlete, but as a human being, what he did to Dump was just shitty, and you never do that to people ever. If it's not true, you don't make up bullshit. And when it comes out that you lied, take your bowl of crow and eat it. Everything I've ever said on live about other people has never been coming back to me, oh, you're a fucking liar. They can't prove that I'm a liar because everything I said was fucking true. Now, no one will ever come to me and say this, that, and the other. Oh yeah. Everybody's entitled to a bad day. I agree. I totally agree. But like I said, my experience with Brett Lauderdale was amazing. He actually talked to me. He gave me all kinds of information, how to get in touch with him, how to run things by him, how to get to do other things with Emil and all these other people and promote some of his wrestlers and everything, man. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was an amazing time.
Let me add a little something to his comment right there. I was with him at that. His like, my buddy is the type of guy that'll try to meet someone in charge, like in the middle of production.
You don't do that. You don't do that. You do it before or after the show, man. You don't do it during the show. That is something you don't do. Like during the show, Brett Lauderdale poked his head out, and I was sitting on the thing. He's like, "Hey, where's my ring announcer?" I was like, "He's over there." He's like, "Thank you." And he went over there to go get him. And he came back and said, "Thanks, man." I was like, "No, man, you're good." He's like, "I appreciate it." Dude, that's what kind of relationship I get from Brett Lauderdale. Like, he appreciates people like helping him out whenever he needs it. That's awesome. Dump is the same way. I wish that he would have had a show here. I understand things didn't happen the way it should have happened and everything. Oh, it was after production.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna be honest. Mine was before. Okay, mine was way before they went live. After the show, you didn't see Brett. Brett was disappeared. Brett stayed backstage with Joey Janela and Nick Gage and all those guys. Nick Gage was signing autographs and taking pictures for $30. I didn't want one. But after that, he came back to me and said, "Hey, brother, how you doing, man?" I was like, "I'm doing great." He's like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for coming out. Love you. See you next time." Gave me a pat on the chest. And I was like, "Dude, that's fucking awesome." And it was right after the incident with Jay Briscoe. So, yeah.
Right after when Jay passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it was brutal, but it was real. They only had to walk out the front door with the fans. See, that was the crazy thing about New South. They were inside of a brewery, and then when Jay's like, "I'm in a brewery," dude, he had a beer in one hand, dude. He was high as fuck. You could tell he was high as hell, dude. He was cheating on the way up in that bitch, bro. He was good. He was good.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Tally Hall is like there's no backstage.
Oh, yeah. there's a backstage, but
you got well, yeah, there's a backstage, but there's no exit. Entrance or exit. Like, they gotta come in the same door that we come in.
Mm-hmm. And then they can sneak out very quickly. But did you also notice at the Hammerstein Ballroom that Violence is Forever was out? Dominic Garrini was standing backstage or standing behind the camera with a Killstein Kill shirt on, leaned up against the wall like this.
Mm.
There's a couple of them like that, man. Like a couple of wrestlers hidden, or not hidden, but planted and watching the matches. And I love that shit about GCW, dude, because the wrestlers don't never leave until the final match. Jordan Oliver, man. My hat's off to Jordan.
Speaking of which, that's a match we didn't talk about, the tag team match.
I didn't want to talk about that match. I didn't want to talk about that match, man.
The Garbage Daddies.
God, man.
The Garbage Daddies are the new tag team champions.
Just like Ohio State's the new fucking SEC or the new NCAA champions.
You know what? I was pulling for Notre Dame on that one. I was pulling for you. I was pulling for you on that one.
Thank you. So was I. I was pulling for me too.
Just not for Green Bay.
Dude, you can hate on us all you want, man. But
all I know is that the Bears,
there's no
are undefeated in 2025, and the Green Bay is 0-2.
Well, look at this too, though, Josh. Look at this too. There is no NFC North teams in the playoffs anymore.
You know what? I was extremely pissed at the Lions. I'm like, really? You're number one team.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Ratty Daddy. Alec Price can fucking suck it. No, I'm playing. I like Alec. Alec's a good dude, but down here in the South, he's fucking dead. Mm-hmm. No one likes Alec Price in the South. Nobody. Mm-hmm. That's a joke. That's a running joke. And Alec Price, you better fucking know that. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. I think they're underrated, but they did not deserve those tag team titles. That Violence is Forever are going somewhere big. I have a feeling. I just don't know where. Dude, and if they don't,
I mean, hell, they had those titles for almost a year, ain't it?
Year and a half, dude. And 400 and some odd days.
Yeah, so they're doing some. They're going somewhere. They're going
either that or GCW better count their fucking lucky stars they keep them. Because I'm telling you, that Kevin Koo and Dominic Garrini as a tag team, unstoppable, bro.
Oh yeah,
unstoppable. I mean, Violence is Forever. I mean, that's a great tag team name. At first, whenever I first saw them, they took on the Los Mestizos, and I was like, man, they ain't gonna beat those guys.
Got them signed on my chair.
They're not gonna beat those guys. Ain't no way. Then I started watching the match unfold, and I was like,
these guys are good.
I was like, Kevin Koo's a monster. And then when he tagged in Dominic Garrini and they did the fucking high-low, I was like, okay, I'm sold. New tag team champions. And I was like, I stood up and I clapped, dude, during that. I was clapping by myself at home. Violence is Forever. Oh, fucking epic, dude. Wow. Dude, I clapped whenever they won. I was not a fan at first, dude, and I watched that one match and I was like, I'm sold, bro. I was sold. And then whenever Kevin Koo came out by himself wrestling people and dominating people, and Dominic Garrini coming out dominating people, I was like, okay. And then they tagged together and they're dominating people, and they keep dominating people and dominating more people. I'm like, fuck.
And they beat Garbage.
And they beat Garbage Daddies twice, dude. Twice before they beat them the third time. And at the end of it, did you see how they rolled back in the ring, clapped, fist bumped, and shook hands?
Yeah. Class act.
Class, dude. Because and Kevin Kubu was smiling at that dude. He was smiling like, I'm glad y'all won. Everybody knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. We didn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But we love balances forever, man. And for GCW to have them on at their shows and put them over the way they did and build them up the way they did. If they're no longer part of GCW and they go to somewhere else, they did their job. GCW, hats off to you. You did your job. However, if you get to keep them under some kind of weird ass contract, dude, y'all are going to kill it this year. Y'all going to kill it because those two guys are money.
Oh yeah.
Mance Warner's money if you can keep him in fucking under the psycho mode, man, because that son of a bitch is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Southern Psycho.
So in all the We the People versus GCW, it was an awesome ass pay-per-view. Some highs and lows. The time constraints, but the biggest thing about for me was the camera work and the production is like so much better. I'm like, if they could keep that to the rest of their shows, it would be so much better.
I agree. Now let's get back to what you want to go to next. Genesis.
Now I didn't watch this pay-per-view.
I didn't either, but there's a lot to talk about here.
Like one, I know the NXT Tag Team Champions showed up.
Oh yeah, Axiom and whatever the other guy's name is.
Yeah.
Nathan Frazier, I think it is. Nathan Frazier and Axiom
showed up, and I'm not sure what happened with that. Like I said, I just saw.
I think they confronted the Rascals. I think that's what happened. They confronted the Rascals.
In front of the Rascals, right? Yeah. Won a shot at the titles. Then Jordan Grace going against Tessa Blanchard.
Let's take a pause right there, real quick. Make a pause. I watched this match recently today. Because I had a massive headache, and I was like, maybe it'll help cure my headache.
As a match, great.
The fans were not happy about this match, bro. They were chanting, "She's a racist." They were chanting, they were booing Tessa. It had it had basically what you would expect from a controversial person. It was almost as bad as Hogan showing up on the very first episode of the Netflix era on Raw.
Yeah. And I actually kind of felt bad for her. I'm like, she's trying to rebuild her career, and it just, the only thing I could think of is like she just becomes just a massive heel. Just become a massive heel. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna save this.
I'm going to be honest with you on this, and I'm a big fan of Tessa. I've always loved her wrestling. Me and Phil went and seen her over in New Orleans. She's a great person. She's sweet. There was one fan that basically was not having it, and she let that motherfucker know. She pointed at him, and whenever she DDT'd Xerxes dude, like she pointed at him and told him like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "Do it again, bitch! I dare you." She's like, "Bitch, I'll show you a bitch." And then she like chopped the shit out of that lady. I was like, motherfucker. They went hard, bro. They went hard. And that match was really good. And Xerxes took the win, which was even way cooler for Tessa to like let that happen.
Yeah.
And she even came out the ring and then got in the dude's face, and then they talked about it. They shook hands, and she walked to the back, which I really think that he was there to just amp the heat for her, you know what I mean? Just make her show out, and she showed the fuck out. And
but this crowd, I was like, I saw the clip. I'm like, wow,
she's a racist. And then the other shit, dude, I was like, I didn't feel bad because of all the shit that's been said from Chelsea Green, from a lot of the black wrestlers. She used the N word. She used a lot of other hate words, not just on black people, but every other race you can think of. And to me, dude, she's married to a Latin guy, and it's sort of like, okay, I get it. I mean, she's just using these words and not meaning in a racist manner. I get it. Even if it's so like that, other people are going to take it the other way. It's like me coming out and saying hate racist shit. You know, people are going to take words I say and they go, "Oh, dude, you're a racist." I'll be like, "Yeah, you're right. That's very racist of me to say shit." Hulk Hogan, he used the N word. You know, bad move. You know, bad move, bro. Just like Gary Owen, the comedian, has said, and I love him for saying this. He's like, you know what? My kids are mixed, and they come around me saying that word all day long. Like, you want to say it? Don't say it, Daddy. Say it. He's like, no. He said, but as soon as them little motherfuckers walk out that door, don't think I don't say that shit. I say it loud and proud. He said, because the simple fact of it is, he said, it ain't being racist. He's like, I know what it stands for and what it means. He said, but whenever you push to that level of to be that person, you don't want to be that person. But at the same token, whenever you push to that level, what are you supposed to do? If you're unprovoked and you say it, that's a whole different level of bigotry. But if you've been pushed to that level of being a bigot, he's like, man, that's y'all's fault. He said, it's y'all's fault for making me want to say it. He said, but at the same token, I'm wrong for saying it in the presence of a person of that color. He said, now I understand that. He said, that's why I say in the privacy of my own home, with all the cameras off and all the lights off, so nobody can see where the fuck I'm at. Because he's funny, man. You know what I mean? He knows there's a boundary, man. I mean, hell, he's been in movies with Ice Cube. He's been in movies with a lot of people. And he even states that shit, you know, like, you'll never hear me say that on camera. You'll never hear me say that in public. You'll never hear me say that out while my friends. He said, that's why I got my own personal bodyguard that says it for me. And he's the first person that came out with the guy that come out on stage. And he said, ain't that right? And he said, he's like, yeah. And everybody cheered and started laughing. He said, and by the way, if I go to a store and the person ain't got my money right when they give me my change, I'm like, hey, he's like, I need my money, I need my change back. And the other guy goes, he's like, yeah. And the crowd started laughing. So yeah, man, I get it. I totally understand why she said it. I get it the way she didn't mean it, but she needs to fucking apologize for saying it in the way she said it. Because you don't just come out and say words like that if you don't fucking mean them. If you say that shit in the privacy of your own home and the closed doors, no cameras and no lights.
Well, the thing is with that is, like, I think the time for apology has come and gone.
It has, but dude, she needs to say something.
Yeah, she needs
to say something. I mean,
because right now she's the champion, ain't it? The Jordan Grace champion.
But the thing is, though, listen to this, though, Josh. There's been no proof of a camera, photo, or not. There's no video evidence of her saying it. It's just all hearsay. But the people who are saying it are very, very believable, and it sounds like she did say it. Chelsea Green is not having that shit. She's a big person that I honestly believe whenever she says that she heard her say it and she was physically there, I believe Chelsea Green. It ain't because of I believe she's a liar or any of that. No. She doesn't bullshit when it comes to real shit. She's never done that. She always cuts the bullshit whenever it comes to real shit.
Yeah.
That's why I believe her. A couple other people have also said the same shit, that she's been this type of way and this type of bullying in the locker room and this, that, and the other because of how she wrestles and how tough she really truly is. Now, if I know Jordan Grace probably didn't go in, I know she didn't go in business for herself in that match, and it probably took every ounce of being a professional to do that. But I guarantee you in that match, Jordan warned her, you fuck up with me, I will beat you like you with every inch of your fucking life. Because that's one woman you do not fuck with. and that's Jordan Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Not only do you have to deal with her, you got to deal with her fucking husband, and he don't fucking play, bro.
Hell no.
And those two people are highly respected. And for her to go out there and do that with every evidence of being a professional, that gives me to say that there's a 50-50 window that maybe it did happen and it was taken in the wrong aspect of her saying something and to being a bully and being a racist. And then there's also other aspects of her being something that people just truly believe that she's a piece of shit. Now, me personally, I've met Tessa. She was never racist. She was never a person to come across as being a racist. But that's not because of me that's just me as a fan being able to talk to her. But, and I know Phil had the same kind of moniker with her as well. But every other person backstage or any other promotion has either come out and said something negative about her for being a bully in the backstage area because she feels like she runs shit, like a CM Punk deal. Because let's be real, dude. Back in the early 2000s when CM Punk was in WWE, everybody considered him a fucking asshole. A bully and an asshole. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
Very true. Now he's back to being controversial, Phil, especially what he said about money about Hulk Hogan. But
yeah, we haven't touched that yet.
No, we haven't. But we're still on the TNA thing.
But yeah, but honestly, I agree. As a champion right now, since she's holding the belt, she needs to say something.
Even if it ain't an apology, it's to set the record fucking straight. You know what I mean? Set it fucking straight. Even if it's your truth, it's a fucking truth. Believe your truth. You know what I'm saying? Believe you. Even if it's your truth. I mean, because nobody can say that, okay, she feels a certain type of way. Nobody can say, oh, that's bullshit. That's something you do. That's something you feel. It's your truth. You know, own that shit. Now, when it comes to the next time you do something fucked up and something bad happens to you, there ain't no more truth can come out for like, oh, that shit's over with. You're done. Here's your fucking card. You just got your shit pulled. Go sit over there with PCO and enjoy the fucking unemployment line, bitch. That's the way it should be. I ain't calling her a bitch. Let me phrase that. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to get in trouble for that. I'm just saying that in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying it in general. That goes for anybody. You fuck up, you go on the unemployment line, that's where you fucking belong, bitch. That's what I'm going to say. And that goes for male or female, not just women. Just saying that in general. Because of the fact of it is, if you don't respect another person and what they do in that locker room or in that ring, then what the fuck are you out there wrestling with them for?
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole take on it. And you're a champion and you're going to be taking on all comers. And there's a lot of women in that locker room that really don't want to be there with you. Tasha Steelz is one of them. So, I mean, I would love to see that match unfold. That's a match I'm looking forward to, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
What happens with Tasha Steelz and fucking Tessa Blanchard in the ring? Personally, I think they should be locked in a cage.
Ooh, cage match. Ooh.
That's the match I want to fucking see. Tasha Steelz versus Tessa Blanchard in the steel cage. See who walks out.
So, okay, so we went over that. So the next match I wanted to bring up on that show, Nick Nemeth versus your boy,
Joe Henry. Hey, man, you better believe in Joe Henry.
Well, believe in him now. He's now the official TNA champion now. So I kind of think that Nick Nemeth dropped it because he doesn't want no part of the WWE deal.
I agree with you, but I'm going to stop you real quick before we go to this match. One other thing I want to add about Tessa. Did you not know that she is not crossing the line to go wrestle at NXT?
She's not? How do you know that?
It's been proven. What is the name of that company? Wrestle Fight or whatever they are, blah, blah, blah. Them and Dave Meltzer came out and said that during all of this that transpired on Sunday night, after the fact, WWE and TNA have now became a partnership deal. As of it stating to be right now, in the near future going forward, Tessa Blanchard will not show up on NXT programming. Not needless to say, in 2 to 3, 4 years from now, if TNA and WWE are still in a partnership deal, or if WWE doesn't buy TNA, that she won't be on NXT programming with TNA. But as a foreseeable future right now, she is not allowed on NXT programming going forward. So what does that say too?
Yeah, but she needs to do some work, man. She needs to do some damage control.
She really does. Now, moving forward, let's go talk about Joe Hendry being the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Because we believe.
You better believe in Joe Hendry, bro. I told everybody you need to believe in Joe Henry. Joe Henry's the man, dude.
Did you watch that match?
I did not, but I did hear reports of this and that and the other. Like Nick Nemeth did reportedly sign a contract extension with TNA. Don't know how long it was for. Don't know if it was just for until end of Genesis. Don't know if it was a 6-month, 2-year, 3-year deal. However, things have come out verbally that he did sign a contract agreement or a verbal agreement. Mm-hmm. However, just like with PCO, pen hadn't went to paper yet. I don't know if it's going to go to paper. Hence, there's a lot of
speculation,
feelings about the new deal going forward.
I know he probably doesn't want to go back to WWE. They did him dirty.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, man. A TNA roster, I don't know if you've seen it or not, man. It's a lot crazy now. It's it's different. It's a lot smaller.
Because they're getting ready to sell. I mean, it's the writing's on the wall. It's been on the wall for years. I mean, hell, they even I can't even tell you the last sold out arena that they played at, wrestled in. I mean, every time I try watching TNA, I try watching it, and every time it looks worse than the ECW Bingo Hall.
They saw AJ Francis under contract, it says here, but AJ Francis, I heard, did not take the deal.
So it's just the writing on the wall. It's like I give it, if it makes it past 2 years, I'd be surprised. Because you already got Jordan Grace already dropped the title. You know,
she's no longer on the actual
roster.
Yeah.
So
but Mustafa Ali is.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, I'm on the roster page right now as me and you are speaking. I'm gonna tell you who's all on here. You ready for this?
Well, like I said, let me see. Jordan Grace, she. What do you think? She going to go to NXT or the main roster first?
I think she'll go NXT. Because look here, man. Here's the champions, man. You got Joe Hendry, Masha Slamovich. This is funny because the digital media champion was PCO.
Mm-hmm.
There is no media championship no more.
Because it got fucking destroyed.
But that was a replica belt, man. That was not the real belt. From what I understand, TNA actually holds the real belt. You still have Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Ace Steel, AJ Francis, Alan Angels, which I don't even know if he's still under contract or not, Alicia Edwards, Ashbat Elegance, Brian Myers, Crazy Steve, Cody Deaner, Chris Bay, Campaign Scene, Danny Luna, Eddie Edwards, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, Gail Kim, Gia Miller, Hammerstone, Havoc, Heather Bat Elegance, Jack Price, Jake Something, which is weird because I guess he just signed a new contract, Jody Threat, JDC, which was also known as Fandango, Jason Hotch, Jeff Hardy, John Schuyler, Jonathan Gresham, Josh Alexander. We also know Jonathan Gresham's contract was supposedly ended. Killer Kelly, Kylan King, Judas Icarus, Casey Navarro, Laredo Kid, Lee Ying Lee, Leon Slater, Matt Cardona, which he's already reported that his contract's ended with TNA, Matt Hardy, Matthew Raywold, Mike Santana, who's also said his contract is ended with TNA, Moose, Mustafa Ali, who said his contract is already ended with TNA, Nick Namath, Rosemary, Ryan Namath, Sammy Callahan, who has also reported that his contract is ended with TNA, Santino Marella, Savannah Evans, Shira, Shogun, Steph Delander, Steve Macklin, Tessa Blanchard, Tasha Steeles, the Personal Concierge, Tom Hannafin, Tommy Dreamer, Travis Williams, Trey Miguel, Zaya Brookside, and Zach Wentz. Now, all of these names I mentioned, there's several of them that says their contract is ended. I forgot Steve Macklin said his contract ended. So there's 1, 2 with Sammy Callahan, Mustafa Ali, 3. 4 would be Matt Cardona. 5 is Jonathan Gresham. 6 is Jake Something. 7 is AJ Francis. So 7 of these people on this roster, as it's saying, has said their contracts are ended or about to end. Oh, and Santana makes 8. So all these people on here, and the only one they have written off over here because of what happened on Sunday is PCO.
They said that's a replica belt that he destroyed. I was like,
yeah,
that's kind of hard to believe.
I mean, it looked kind of crappy, but
the thing is and I actually found this out when with Vikingo, because I plain out asked him, is like, because you always think when they do a signing or a tour that you think that the company holds the actual belt, the TV belt, like they should what they show on TV, and only give it to them like they carry around, and then when they go on tour they give them like what am I trying to say, a replica belt or something like that. And I actually asked Vikingo is this a newer belt when he was the AAA champion? Mm-hmm. I asked him, is this the original belt, or is this like a touring title, or is this a new belt just for you that they give to you? The tour's like, no, this is the title that I won. This is the title that Omega personally held, and is the one him, and before him. So they actually passed down that belt.
Yes, that's different though, man. That's AAA, dude. They have faith in people. Mm-hmm. At this time, whenever PCO did what he did, he hasn't signed a new agreement. It was a verbal agreement. So technically he did not actually have he didn't have ownership of it. He didn't have ownership of that title. It was just a verbal agreement. So yeah, he didn't. It was all a verbal agreement. It wasn't nothing like, yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? It was. That's what it was.
First of all, who the hell makes a TNA replica belt?
You can buy them on ImpactShop.com, dude. Like on the Shop TNA merch, there is collectibles. I think it is. Nope, they don't have them there. They have DVDs, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What they need to do is hand out some DVDs, man.
Wow. TNA Rebellion 2024, the best of Eli Drake, the best of Drew Galloway. Dude, they don't have anything from like back in the day, man. Like they don't have any of that stuff. And that's crazy, man. Like they don't have anything. They don't have any of they still have Jordan Grace's 8x10 or 18x24 poster.
The Impact era stuff?
No, it's TNA era. It's all TNA. This is all TNA. Tasha Steeles, Masha, Alicia, Heather, Li Ying Li, or Lai Ying Li, Tessa. 8x10s.
All I know is if Rosemary goes back to WWE, they need to push her damn music. That when she made her debut on NXT, they gave her some bullshit ass me. I was like, come on, that's not Rosemary. You need to have that. Wow.
Yeah, they don't have any of the titles, man. I'm looking now. I'll put in title, and I didn't come up with anything. Then they got the Bound for Glory 2023 turnbuckle.
I'm telling you, that was probably the actual title, and he fucking destroyed it on live TV.
I don't think they would do that, man. I really don't think they would do that.
Well, I don't think anybody expected he was going to do that. So
I don't know, man. Because from what I understand, man, and like I said, their whole roster, though, man, I'm just, I don't know if it's true or not, man. Like, if what people are saying is true, like, there's a lot of people leaving this company, then
I'm telling you, it's going to be bought out. It's going to be done.
what's going to be bought out, though, Josh? I mean, seriously, what's going to be bought out? What?
Library?
Okay.
Library and whatever talent they can pluck from that.
I see them signing maybe 4 people out of this whole roster, if it's true. We all know Gil Kim ain't going back.
Yeah. Technically, she's retired. So was she just a backstage producer or something?
Well, yeah, she's a book. She's an what you call it? Producer, man. Like she helps matches, produce matches and stuff.
Oh, fired. Tommy Dreamer. Fired. I meant let me see.
Cody Deaner fired. Crazy Steve fired. Eric Young fired.
Well, I don't know. Crazy Steve, they might take him just for the pure fact of the handicap thing.
Yeah, we see how well that worked with fucking Zach Gowen, didn't we?
Damn it. Talk about that fucking there's a name. I got to see him once. NWA Mid-South came to up here around Hammond, like the next city over for me. Did a show, and he was the main event. He came out to Hulk Hogan's "I Am a Real American."
That's hilarious.
And he's wearing a T-shirt that says "As Seen on TV."
That's great. but let's go through this roster and let's say hired or fired. Ace Austin. I say he'd be hired.
Ace Austin, yeah.
Ace Steel,
fired.
He's CM Punk's boy. AJ Francis, fired. Alan Angels, fired. Alicia Edwards, fired.
Yeah.
Ashma Elegance, fired. Brian Myers, fired. Campaign Singh, fired. Chris Bay.
Brian Myers. There could be a chance if they're gonna bring back Matt Cardona. You damn sure that
they'll bring back Brian Myers.
Yeah, they'll bring back Brian Myers.
Yeah. Okay, so he's an iffy. He's a question mark.
Yeah, that's a middle one.
Okay, Campaign Singh, fired. Chris Bay, hired. Cody Deaner, fired. Crazy Steve, in my opinion, fired.
Nah, I say middle. That's a maybe. Like I said, they'll probably exploit the fact that he's blind and everything, and he's wrestling or some shit,
Probably. Okay, I agree with that. Denny Luna, hired. Eddie Edwards, fired. Eric Young, fired. Frankie Kazarian, fired. Gail Kim, fired. Gia Miller, maybe hired. She's an announcer. Maybe hired. Hammerstone, hired. Havoc, fired. Heather by Elegance, fired. Jack Price, maybe hired. Jake something. I would love to see him hired, but probably fired.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Hodge.
That's a middle one, yeah.
Jason Hodge, fired. Jeff Hardy, fired. Fandango.
Middle. I'm going to say in the middle because you know what? He did some entertaining shit in WWE.
Yeah, he did. Jody Threat. Jody Threat will be hired. Joe Henry, definitely hired. John Schuyler, hired. Jonathan Gresham, hired. Josh Alexander, hired. Casey Navarro. That's an iffy one there, dude, for me, is Casey Navarro. That's I would love to see him go to NXT and do some great things, but I just don't know, man.
Well, they said Josh Alexander at the show was kind of another one that was getting ready to leave, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of people
going to WWE.
I mean, it's like I said, the writing's on the wall. It's like they're just going to buy TNA out
and
take
be done.
The library and put it with theirs.
Casey Navarro probably be hired. Judas Icarus may be hired. Killer Kelly and Kylan King both hired. Laredo Kid fired. Li Ying Lee, don't know nothing about her. Maybe hired. Who knows? Leon Slater will not be hired by WWE. He'll be fired. Masha will be hired. Matt Cardona, maybe.
We'll find out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we will. Matt Hardy, fired.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Raywell, fired. Mike Santana, fired. Moose, hired.
I don't know. Mike Santana, I see. I'm gonna put that in the middle. That's either hired or fired.
Yeah, he's the middle. Moose is definitely hired. Mustafa Ali, fired. Nick Namath. I don't see him going back.
You know what? Like I said, Mustafa was fired during Vince, but he's a Triple H. He was a Triple H guy.
Yeah.
So
50-50? 50-50?
50-50.
Nick Namath?
You know what? I'm not going to say he's going to be fired, but I don't think he's going to want to go back.
I don't either.
Because I think he's doing a lot better on his own.
He really is. He actually gets to wrestle the way he wants to wrestle, put on great matches. Rosemary?
You know what? Honestly, that's a 50-50.
Ryan Namath, Nick Namath's brother?
No.
Sammy Callahan.
That's another 50-50. With Rosemary, like I said, I think if they just keep her original gimmick, if they just keep that, it would go over so well.
I agree. What about Sammy Callahan?
And Sammy Callahan, jeez.
I say no.
Teenage version of Stone Cold.
I say fired because he wrestled in NXT once too. He was Solomon Crow.
Yeah, so fired. Yeah.
Santino Marella.
God.
His daughter works for WWE now. Remember that. I think he would get hired, but as a backstage person, man.
What? Who's his daughter?
I forget her name, but she's in WWE NXT right now.
Okay.
I really think he'd get hired as a backstage person.
Yeah, he needs to because you know what? He's another one that's comedy gold. He is.
Let me tell you something, my brother.
Let me tell you, John Cena.
You funny man. You John Cena. Yeah, Savannah Evans, I think will be fired. Shiro will be fired. Shogun, don't know nothing about him. Steph DeLander, I don't see her being hired by WWE, dude. SDL, I just don't see it. And they had a really good storyline going with her and PCO too, man. That's what was crazy. Like that whole storyline going with her and PCO was fucking awesome. And then PCO goes in for business for himself at GCW. I was like, they ruined that whole storyline, dude. Like every bit of it's gone. And then Steve Macklin, I don't see him going. Tessa, fuck no. Tasha, fuck no. The Concierge, no. Tom Hannafin, no. Dreamer, no. Travis Williams, don't know nothing about him.
I say they put Dreamer on a Legends contract.
Oh, definite. Trey Miguel, Zach Wentz, and Zaya Brookside. I see maybe the Rascals, but not her. And that's it, dude. Like, that's it. Like, there's a lot of that roster now that could go to WWE. Literally. A lot of it could go. But the question is, will it?
Yeah, it's like I said, even the ones that we named, they're still going to cherry pick them.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Because you can't take everybody that we
Can't take
name.
everyone. Can't take everyone.
I don't like with me with like I said, I'm a huge fan of Rosemary, and if they would keep her gimmick, yeah. The reason why she hasn't signed, she said she got so many offers from other companies. The only reason why she stayed with TNA is because they let her
Be her.
be her.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to WWE,
that ain't the case, man.
No. So if anything, like I said, it's a 50-50. If they let her have that gimmick with the music, I'm sorry.
But dude, and this is the crazy part too, man. This is the crazy part. A lot of those people, if they don't get hired by WWE, you think they're going to go to AEW? No. Maybe a handful of those people will end up in AEW. I'm talking a small handful. I'm not even talking 5. I'm talking like 3 tops. Yeah. And the rest of them are going to be on the independents. And who's going to be on the independents? GCW is going to grab them.
Oh, yeah.
And like, that's going to make...
I see Rosemary going to AEW.
Yeah. Her and Abaddon teaming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That'd be a great tag team. But then you're going to have, like, the crazy part about it is, like, who else would go out of that, though? Like, if they cherry pick who they want in WWE, who gets cherry picked by AEW, and then who gets picked by GCW? Everyone else, right? Because GCW isn't going to pay them what they're used to being paid, but they're going to be wanting that money anyway because they need a steady contract or a steady payment because they're used to it.
Well, also, they could do the independent tours. They could always go to Japan.
That's what I was about to say as well.
They can always go to the Japan factor. So,
hell, look at Matt Riddle's not even on here no more either, dude. Did you notice that? I didn't know Matt Riddle on here either. Matt Riddle's not under TNA contract no more. He was on here. Remember, he was under their contract. Remember, he was on their roster for a minute. Remember that?
Actually, shit. Matt Riddle's coming to town too. He's going to be coming to another event in Chicago, so I might go to that one. So, but yeah, did you freeze? Okay. But
so there are 63 people. There are 63 people under contract to TNA. 63 people. I just counted every single one of them. Out of 63 people, over half of them wouldn't make it in WWE, or they would turn down a contract from WWE.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
It's a wild time.
Dude, it's a wild time, man. And then Monday night, this is what Raw was a great show. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
It was a great show. Actually, yes, I agree. A very great show.
But have you seen the viewership for Monday Night Raw?
No.
0. No cable rating, dude, because it's not on cable no more.
Well, it's on Netflix, so.
But they don't have no rating system on Netflix, bro. It's number one. It's number one on TV under things watched. It's number one. I mean, you know, that's got to be a good thing.
I mean, they gotta have some way of tracking this.
Dude, it was funny as shit because AEW troll posted Dynamite ratings this amount and Raw had 0. I was like, oh, that's fucking rude. Because it's true, because they're not on television, man. They're like, we won't do it against SmackDown. I'm like, or NXT, and I'm like,
oh, what about the stuff with Corey Graves?
He was back last night.
He was back because I didn't watch NXT, so
he was back, and they made a comment about it and everything.
Dude, he busted out that lines and busted out some chapstick.
Well, dude, this is the thing, man. You know he's cleared to wrestle again.
Is he?
Yeah, he was cleared last year. At the end of last year, I think around October, August, November, something like that. It was close to the end of last year. He was cleared to wrestle. But they're using him as an announcer. What I found funny was, remember Monday night, because Pat McAfee was at the game. They had Wade Barrett show up. You froze?
No, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So Wade Barrett showed up and helped out Monday night. Remember?
Yeah.
And you remember at the start of the show, you had Jey Uso come out and Michael Cole was sitting there dancing. And Wade Barrett said, "Look, everybody, it's Drunken Dad at a frat party." And
I know.
he was making fun of Michael Cole, right? And then Michael Cole sat down and he's like, "Dude, why did you embarrass yourself like that? You look like a freaking idiot." And he's like, "Well, I got to get myself out there somehow. You know, I don't have no fancy entrance like people like you do over on SmackDown." I was like,
I know. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
But if you remember, Corey Graves also said something like that in his tweet too. Like, I'm good enough to be on NXT, but I'm not good enough to be on your other shows. Who is he referring to? McAfee, maybe? That's what Kelly thinks. Kelly thinks it's McAfee. I think it's Wade Barrett. I think he's going after Barrett, dude, because Barrett took a spot on SmackDown, didn't he?
Pretty much.
So I believe he's going after Barrett. And I think it's going to set up a feud between him and Barrett. However, it could be a Pat McAfee and Corey Graves feud. Either way, I'm cool with it. I think it'd be great because last night they made a comment about the tweet him and Booker T did. And then they went, and that's all they did. They laughed about it, and that was it. And they went back to talking about NXT. So what are we doing here?
So Pete probably got his ass chewed out.
Or is all the work? Or it's all the work, dude.
We'll see.
Could be all the work, bro. Could be all the work.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Did we though? One other thing we did not cover.
What are we missing?
The CM Punk.
Oh, commenting about Hulk Hogan?
Going into, and no one knew what he was going to say. But there has been people come out saying that he did ask 4 different times, "Are you sure you want me to go out there without no script?" And they said yes. He's
Really?
like, "Are you sure? Do you want me to go out there without no script?" They said yes. He walked up to Triple H and he said, "Look, man, just go do your thing." Ha ha ha. No, it's not. We got 4 hours more to go, bro. 4 more hours to go. But then he said to Triple H said, "Go do your thing, man. Go." And before he went out there, he asked he asked somebody in production, like, "Are you sure you're gonna?" He's like, "Hey man, go now." So him and Jackie Redmond were sitting there talking, and where he was like, "Yeah, this person, I'm gonna throw this person out and this person, and Sami Zayn's not even on my level. And hell, even Hulk Hogan, he wants to get his ass in the ring. I'll throw his dusty ass over there and kill all of Hulkamania." I was like,
ooh, I know. I was like, wow.
doom, doom, doom.
Honestly, the way everything's going, I think they're gonna put Sami Zayn.
I'll do some cocaine to stay up. Let's fucking go. Yeah, dude, let's go, bro. Let's go. No, man. No, man. But no, I think they're pushing Sami Zayn too. Because look, he had 5 different segments on Raw alone, dude. 5 different segments. And everybody wasn't tired of Sami. I mean, you had a segment with him and Seth, him and Drew, him and Kevin, him and Jay. And then he had a match too. So, I mean, if you're not pushing this, man, what the fuck are you going to do? And I don't see, and Kelly said this too, the Missing Link said this. He said that he doesn't see Cody losing the belt to Kevin Owens this Saturday night main event. I don't either. No, not main event, but Royal Rumble. He doesn't see that happening.
No.
And he doesn't see Gunther losing the title to Jey Uso.
No.
Which I'm not going to say no. Dude,
Really?
have you seen how many people are behind Jey? The whole fucking world is behind Jey Uso.
I say if they're gonna do that, I say they do it like this. What is it? Jey Uso's going to get Saturday Night Main Event, right? I don't see him winning it there. I see him going to the Elimination Chamber, winning the Elimination Chamber, and going to WrestleMania to win it. And if with Gunther is like that's like another high profile one too. If you're gonna drop the title, at least do it at the main one. That's how I see it's gonna go down. It's like he's gonna lose it there, get pissed off, go to the Elimination Chamber, win the Elimination Chamber, challenge again at WrestleMania, and him taking the title there.
Or have Sami Zayn have lightning strike in a bottle, win the Royal Rumble, and take Gunther at WrestleMania.
So many possibilities.
And what do you think about Ron Breaker and Sheamus this Saturday night's main event for the IC title, man?
Shit. Ooh, I can't wait. That's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, still in words from Sheamus. That's gonna be a banger.
That's gonna be a banger.
But the thing is, though, man, what the fuck, man? Like, why is WWE making people like tune in, dude? Why? How is it making us tune in? I know my personal opinion, but I want to hear your personal opinion on it.
Why is it making us want to watch again?
Yeah,
because honestly, the matches are good now.
They mean something.
It means something. It's like it's.
They mean something now. It ain't about winning wins and losses like AEW. No, don't get me wrong. When it first happened, I was like, okay, this is a cool idea. TNA tried it and it failed. This ain't the 1980s anymore. That shit's gone. That shit's done. You got to have stories that mean something.
Yes, and
okay.
that's the thing that AEW lacks is stories. They need somebody.
Like tonight's story between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, they had a chance to capitalize on something so good, and they shit the bed with it right at the beginning. Because Ospreay's like, hey, I can't remember the last time we were in the ring together when we wasn't throwing fists at one another. And Kenny Omega's, you can't remember the last time we were in the ring together? It was Forbidden Door and you hit me with a screwdriver. I was like, oh my God. He just said where y'all wasn't throwing fists, motherfucker. You know, like capitalize on smart shit. Not like Will Ospreay was like, why are you doing this? Why'd you go in business for yourself? Because that's what it felt like right there, man. He went in business for himself during that fucking promo. Like he should have never did that. Well, it felt like he killed that whole segment in 1 second. It's like, yay, Ospreay and Kenny Omega on the same page.
Like, well, it's like I say, Kenny Omega may be one of the top best wrestlers around. But he can't do a fucking promo to save his fucking life. No. He can't.
No, that was the Tiger Driver incident was him and Bryan Danielson.
He tried it. No, he did the Tiger Driver on Kenny too.
Oh man, yeah, but
and he kind of fucked that one up too.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean,
yeah, but like I said, what WWE is like, they're catching people with the stories. That's what it is.
Then the matches are like really good.
Yeah, it
makes sense.
It's like, and it's like I said, the main problem was promos. Their promos, while they're good, they're too damn long.
Dude,
It was
yeah.
like there's no reason to have a 30-minute promo. There's no reason. That's
This
two
right
matches.
here,
That's 2 matches.
that right there, 100%. I agree with that.
Mhm.
I agree with that right there. That whole statement. It was on Omega. You're right.
Mhm.
But it was Omega's fault. It was not Will Ospreay's fault about the Tiger Driver. That was all on Omega. But them together is wrestling gold. Everybody knows it. Everybody who's seen the 2 matches they had at Wrestle Kingdom together, they were fucking phenomenal. The one at Forbidden Door was fucking fantastic. The one at Wembley Stadium was meh. But I don't want to see that again. I want to see something totally different, man. I want to see Omega and Ospreay on the same side for a fucking change to take up the Don Callis family. That's what I want to see.
And that's what we're gonna get.
But it took but they almost killed that whole segment, dude. Omega almost killed that segment tonight. Am I wrong or right on that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He almost killed that shit, dude. Like, it's like, why the fuck? Like, he's like, oh yeah, we got this shit going this way, and he's like, I'm gonna sink this ship. I'm gonna sink the Titanic right about fucking now.
What do you expect of a friend of Hangman? You know.
True. I mean, yeah, and you can see Will Ospreay's face, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I just said, whenever we're not throwing fists at one another, when we're not trying to kill one another. When was the last time we were in a ring together and we ain't trying to stab one another? You know, like, let's be real here. And my honest opinion, man, and this is not trying to be funny about it, WWE is having matches that mean something. Not just necessarily the storylines, the people they have going against one another. Sheamus versus Braun Breaker, both of them big dudes fighting for the IC title. Sheamus has never won it. Sheamus wants it. It's be like a freaking, he'll be a Grand Slam champion finally for the first time ever in his whole fucking career. I think that is awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have people like, and then the U.S. title. I don't even know who's fighting for that piece of garbage, and
it's
don't care.
Nakamura and
Kamalo Hayes and El Idolo Andrade on SmackDown. Is that the same deal? Who cares? I love it. I think it's a great idea, but nobody cares.
Oh, LA Knight. There you go.
Oh, LA Knight. Yeah. Again, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I think they're great. I think that's great talent there, and I think that's a great feud if they want to go that route. But I've already seen that feud. I've already seen all those feuds. You know where it happened? 2000 WWE. 2002 WWE. 2003 WWE. 2004 WWE. I mean, I've seen them. They never elevate that U.S. title. That U.S. title is never going to be elevated to anything. The Intercontinental title was the elevation title, and it should still be the elevation title. And what I mean by that is you have the IC title, and you can elevate Braun Breaker to that fucking echelon of being a main eventer. Why have him take on Sheamus? I don't know, because Sheamus was a former world champion. Makes fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
After he loses the title of that, who does he go after? Gunther. Just shows up on the next Raw, looks him dead in the face, and says, "That's mine." And gets in his fucking face, dude, and like, what the fuck? How are you going to say no to that? The ring general versus the new freaking Brock Lesnar. You can't say no to that. That's got money written all over it. That's a big feud everybody wanting to see. Everybody wants to see that fight. I know I do.
Yeah.
I want to see that fight. I think that'd be a great fight because I think the ring general has a chop that'll fucking kill anybody in this fucking world. And Braun Breaker has the fastest spear that I've never seen in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's quick against them ropes, man. He runs them bitches so damn fast, it's not even funny. And his cousin, Scott Steiner's son, is coming to the WWE after his NFL career if he gets one. And that's going to be fucking awesome. Because, I mean, then you're going to have the Steiner brothers all over again. And I think that's going to be fucking epic.
How big is him?
He's a linebacker.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So he's just like his cousin.
Dude, can you imagine those two cousins getting in the same ring to one another and looking at one another dead in the eye and going, it's game time or it's feeding time, basically, and then killing everybody in the WWE? Because Braun Breaker has done a Frankensteiner, dude, in NXT. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking agile for a big man. And quick as fuck. Everybody thought Mojo Rawley was quick. Mojo Rawley is slow compared to this man.
Shit, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. I totally forgot about him.
Who is he? He was an NIL guy that didn't go nowhere. He had very good charisma. He was just not as good in the ring. I mean, he was a tag team partner of Zack Ryder for a minute. Oops. But, you know, I mean, nobody cared, man. Nobody cared about him on the main roster. Nobody cared about him in NXT. He was just a guy that got everybody hyped.
Yeah.
He was basically Leo Rush before Leo Rush was Leo Rush.
But I think
we have talked about everything tonight. I know it's late.
Yeah, we're going like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think GCW's pay-per-view is calling me. Like, hey, bro, wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up. All right, I'm wrapping it up. I promise. So yeah.
Well, before we wrap it up, we got
sponsored by
W.
.gg.
Get your W energy drinks. Go to W.gg. Use our promo code Ringside Rants, 10% off. All caps.
Yes, I wish they would call him Rick Steiner as well, dude. And this has been Ringside Rants Wednesday night versus the world, because we are the world's worst podcast. We are the world's worst people in the face of this. Well, I am anyway. This guy, Just Mike, is probably one of the world's worst people that ever sit behind a microphone or a camera for that matter and talk about wrestling, because I am hated on so many levels that you could call me the only podcast devil. And I don't mean to steal that from MJF. But yeah. And with that being said, without further ado, and if you're not down with us and you don't like us and you're not listening to us, you're
doing life wrong.
Yeah, you are. You're doing life wrong.
That's my best Phil impression.
Best Phil impression, yeah. Miss you, Phil. Wish you get better, bro. Can't wait to see you back, hopefully soon. But you know, we talked about food. You see me eat some food. You see Josh eat some food tonight. But we're not just food for your gut and for your intestines. We're also
food for the ears, baby.
Fucking right, man. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I got a fun fact for you. You ready for the fun fact tonight, Josh?
What is it?
It is like, you know, whenever